What's up, you guys, and welcome back to one of the realest channels on YouTube. Yes, she's back. She's back. I'm back. I ain't gonna do too much explaining. But if you're new here, my name is Nisi. We talk about TikTok conspiracy theories or just conspiracy theories, the crazy stuff going on TikTok. I don't know if it's a conspiracy. I don't know if it's a hoax. I don't even know if it's the truth, but we are here to dissect these videos and figure that out. With that being said, let me drop this intro. We're gonna get right into it, y'all. Before we do that, look, y'all. What? Do y'all see the growth? I'm gonna put my headphones on. I ain't got them on yet, but do y'all see the growth? Look, I come in the club shaking my dread, throwing the ball, busting it. Let me start. Let me drop this intro, y'all. We're gonna get into this video. It's crazy. Okay, here we go.
You know it, and I know it. Joe doesn't know he's alive.
Because Biden doesn't know he's alive.
Biden doesn't know, he doesn't know he's alive.
Now, I have to tell you, he's a different guy. He looks different than he used to. He acts different than he used to. He's even slower than he used to be. So I don't know, but I call him 1% Joe. Joe Biden is a dummy.
It's not him. He does. He's a puppet. He is.
Hey, TNT fam, it's your king, and boy, I'm about to blow y'all mind today. I'm about to show y'all that everything we look at is made of light, even though science don't want to prove it all the way, and show y'all the facts, because when y'all know that when we die, your eyes still continue to live, you know what I'm saying, especially if they're open. If they're closed, then your eyes, you know what I'm saying, still be recording, but the energy life force in it start to decrease quick. You can Google that yourself and check that out. But what I'm about to show y'all, about to blow y'all mind, and I got other research to back it up, and I want y'all to think, if you could do this with fruit, then yeah, the human eye, and science proved this a long time ago, and y'all think forensics don't still use this now, and they saying they debunk that forensics don't still use this practice, even though they can do this, they still do it. So don't think that a lot of people, when you commit a crime for killing somebody or something, you know what I'm saying, that you got caught because they went out and did field research. Nah, they got the image from that person who died and used that against you and just built the case around it. So with no further ado, check your boy out, and you about to see why when I tell y'all something, show y'all something, it's always facts.
According to Jack the Ripper tour, optography, or the idea that the eyes were able to record the last image that a person saw before death, was a widespread and popular science in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, albeit it has been debunked as a forensic method. According to Scripps Research, La Jolla, CA, scientists from Scripps Research in the University of Utah have made the surprising discovery that the human eye can be removed from the body even hours after death, and the function of the light-sensing cells in the central vision can be revived. According to PETA Pixel, you're going to cut out your film paper and you put it inside the orange and you tape it all up, and then you can bring your orange outside and open up your pinhole and expose it for about 30 seconds, and then you can bring it back in and you get those images.
Wait a minute, so they're saying that you can take pictures through an orange. I've never heard of this, so we about to see. Is it a conspiracy, hoax, or the truth? We about to see. Cause it's crazy.
There's something happening to the rainbow.
I gotta speak on it. So, like fruit, well, we all know shit, most fruit and stuff should be living. But that's crazy. Like the oranges have eyes they can see. So they have this type of technology. I don't know, child. I'm not even gonna go down the rabbit hole. I'm gonna lead it to y'all in the comments.
Darter, a tiny fish that lives in the rivers of southern Ontario. If they're downstream from a sewage treatment plant, the male fish turn into females.
If you expose them to wastewater, they will feminize. They will have eggs in the testes.
What's causing the males to develop eggs? Human hormones, residue from prescription drugs that are flushed into the river. Using new highly sensitive equipment, scientists are finding an increasing variety of prescription drugs in the waterways. Painkillers, blood thinners, chemotherapy agents, hormones, antibiotics. If we swallow it, scientists can find it in the water.
Some of the drug comes in us and through us and out of us totally unchanged. So we actually have active drugs going into the waterway through our urine or feces.
Last month, a study of First Nations communities found levels of 3 prescription drugs in one southern Ontario river that were the highest in North America. And an unpublished Health Canada survey of tap water across the country found traces of prescription drugs in drinking water. Mark Servos is the lead.
That's crazy. The water ain't even safe. The water ain't even, we not even safe for the freaking environment. We gotta do better, humans. We killing the fish, we killing the animals, we killing the bees, we killing everything. We gotta do better. Or Earth gonna kick us off this mother.
Lead author.
There are pharmaceuticals, as we expected, that are widely distributed in surface waters going into drinking water plants, and very low concentrations are detectable, but the concentrations are very, very low.
Because
Yeah, right.
Nope. There's not a single study which shows that exercise helps you live longer. And when I started looking into that, I found that there's never been a single professional athlete ever lived to be 100. My red flags began to go up because if exercise was good for you, there should be a significant percentage of professional athletes living to be 100 because nobody exercises more than professional athletes, and they get paid to do it, so they're not going to cheat. Well, you start looking at some of the famous athletes that should have done well. People like Jesse Owens, the first man to ever win 4 gold medals in the Olympics, in the same Olympics. He died at 66. Jim Thorpe and Red Grange, and there was Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, and Sugar Ray Robinson. Wilt Chamberlain just died a couple of years ago at age 63 of congestive heart failure. The Grinkoff, Sergei Grinkoff and his wife, they'd won 4 gold medals in the previous year, 2 in the Olympics and 2 in the World Games. And he dies at age 28 at a heart attack in November of 1995. Cardiomyopathy heart attack, a simple deficiency of the trace mineral selenium. And then Reggie Lewis, captain of the Boston Celtics, 4% body fat, as fit as a human being could be. Great young man, died at age 27 of a cardiomyopathy heart attack, a simple selenium deficiency. Dr. James Cornyn, he was a cardiologist from Paradise, California. His wife was a cardiologist. They had 2 cardiologists under the same roof. Okay? And they were exercise freaks. They didn't take any vitamins, minerals, and trace minerals because they believe you can get everything you need by eating your basic 4 food groups. And despite doing everything right, despite having 2 cardiologists under the same roof, Dr. James Cornyn dies at age 48 of a heart attack. He was a coach and an athlete. His name was Dr. Tom Dowling. He was a PhD type of doctor. He was a vegan, a vegetarian that did not eat any animal products whatsoever. He only ate perfect mixes of grains, legumes, vegetables, fruits, and nuts. This man was considered a master at practicing and teaching yoga around the world. Ran the marathon every month, 26.2 miles every month for 25 years. When he was 47 years old, Tom Dowling got an irregular heartbeat, and he did what he thought was the righteous thing to do. He went to the top cardiologist in Kansas City, Missouri, who put him on a treadmill, and he did the treadmill, the stress test. An hour after the treadmill, he drops dead of a heart attack. According to the Center for Disease Control.
Wait, that sounds familiar. Didn't that just happen to an athlete a couple of weeks ago? He started having heart issues, young guy, basketball player. I don't think he's US, but I saw that having issues with his heart after you know, and he was training. They did a stress test on the treadmill, and I think he passed away the same way. That's crazy.
100,000 kids under the age of 30 in America die each year from heart attacks and other sudden causes of death during athletic events. 100,000 a year. According to the Center for Disease Control, 300,000 Americans die each year over the age of 30 while they're exercising or participating in some sport. The reason why athletes don't fare so well is because athletes sweat more in 5 years than couch potatoes do in 75 years. When you're sweating, you're not just sweating out water, you're sweating out a soup that contains all 60 essential minerals. They're called essential minerals because if any of them are missing for any length of time, you get some horrible degenerative disease, many of which are life-threatening. So this is a no-brainer. Who's more likely to die of one of these life-threatening mineral deficiency diseases? An athlete who's sweating out quarts and quarts of this mineral-rich soup every day, or a couch potato in an air-conditioned den laying on the couch.
Hey, look, I'm just here to report the
Proud couch potato here.
news. Y'all can Google it.
Don't everybody believe in Google? Go Google that shit.
Do your own research to find out if it's true or not. But this girl says, I watched a video saying they use pre-cancer cells. Now, this is in regard to my video about the lab-grown meat. Now, the Associated Press did a video on the lab-grown meat. You might be right, Reese Cup. Check this out.
The U.S. approved the sale of lab-grown meat made from animal cells for the first time. What is it? We spoke with a California company who creates it.
So cultivated meat, put really simply, is real meat that is grown from animal cells.
These cells can come from a biopsy of a living animal, a fertilized egg, or a special bank of stored cells. Companies choose the cells most likely to reproduce quickly.
Okay, now wait. Did you hear what they said? The cells that reproduce the fastest. So I went and looked up what are the most rapidly growing cells. Look at that. Cancer cells typically grow and divide more rapidly than normal cells.
And the cells multiply over and over and over. After several days or weeks, the meat is removed from the tanks to be shaped into cutlets, hot dogs, nuggets, and sausages. Then it's ready to be cooked, served, and eaten.
So it sounds like they're taking the cancerous cells or precancerous cells from these animals to reproduce to make the meat that we about to eat. Well, y'all about to eat because I don't fuck with meat.
Some people are starting to believe that some.
So they out here feeding us cancer. Child. We gonna talk about it.
Something big will happen this Thursday. And that's because a major solar storm that's set to take place on Thursday will make the northern lights visible in 17 states. Now, solar storms are generally pretty harmless, but due to some of the recent circumstances combined with the size of this specific storm, people have come up with some wild theories. I've already talked multiple times about the theory that an internet or possibly even a full power grid outage could happen due to the storms, but there's a very interesting idea being talked about now that a solar storm could supercharge the Earth's electromagnetic field and in turn give some humans superpowers.
Our planet is burning, climate disasters are becoming extreme, over 3 billion people are at risk of being displaced or worse. Clearly, the climate time bomb is ticking and countries are scrambling to find solutions. So far, they've made little progress, and now America may have come up with a new idea. It wants to block sunlight from reaching the Earth. As bizarre as it sounds, this phenomenon is no longer science fiction. It has made its way to legitimate debate. The question is, can it be effective? Or is it just another extreme artificial tactic to alter our atmosphere? Our next report tells you.
4.5 billion years. That's how old our planet is. Quite a long life, wouldn't you say? One filled with daily battles with the human race because we have polluted its air and water. Strewn rubbish everywhere, over 2.24 billion tons of it, and corrupted nature. So now the world is heating up. And finally, we see how this affects us. We see how climate change harms us. When our air is too polluted to breathe, when the skies are orange from wildfires, and when billions of us risk displacement. So what do? we come up with ideas to solve the problem we have created. And if we're the US, we want to modify the atmosphere further to fight the changes we created in the first place. Sounds both confusing and disappointing at the same time? That's maybe because it is. We're talking about solar radiation modification. In simple terms, it means blocking sunlight. Yes, literally blocking the sun's rays, altering sunlight. This is seen as a potential response to fighting climate change. It sounds like science fiction, like some massive shield created by mad scientists that could protect our planet. But, believe it or not, this could actually become reality, thanks to the US. The White House has released a report. It indicates that the Biden administration wants to study altering sunlight, to research this phenomenon some more because it could potentially cool the planet. And fairly quickly, that too. But soon after this, the US ordered a review, showing certain amount of skepticism, meaning that there will be no quick decisions. For the time being, just research. But even so, this is a big deal. The US may want to undertake solar experimentation in the future. It could toy with the sun. And in the world of science, this is extremely controversial. This is not a new concept, but the reason too much progress hasn't been made here is because it divides scientists. Some say it's the last line of defense. It should only be used if and when nations fail to reduce their greenhouse emissions. You know, the gas emissions that cause global warming. But then there is another school of thought. Some experts have issued serious warnings, saying that it could make the atmosphere dependent on a particular substance. So, if this stops, it could abruptly increase temperatures. The thing is, this concept is like putting an ill-fitted band-aid on the problem. For starters, it does nothing to address current problems, like reducing pollution, or the use of fossil fuels, or ocean acidification. All it does is try to deal with the symptom, which is overheating. And this report talks about a bunch of ways to limit sunlight reaching the Earth, like increasing cloud cover over the oceans or reducing the amount of a certain type of cloud. All of these methods have risks, significant ones. And most of all, each one of them can make things much worse, like alter global weather patterns or disrupt food supplies. And, as mentioned earlier, even lead to abrupt warming. Several experts have warned against this controversial method, though for now it seems like the US is seriously considering it. And if so, the White House should know that it's playing with fire, quite literally.
I'm gonna speak on that. That's crazy. Pretty much, they pretty much saying that we burning the earth, heating up. I already know this for a fact that it is hotter than it's ever been. And I'm down south in Mississippi. We have been under heat advisory every day for the last, I know for the at least the last 2 or 3 weeks. Heat advisory. I have not been outside. I usually do Instacart and stuff like that. I haven't been in like over a week now because it's been too hot for me personally. If I don't necessarily have to, I ain't going. Like, I wake up some mornings like 6:30, 7 a.m. in the morning before the sun comes out. It's hot. I have my air on blast, ceiling fan on, extra fans on in the house, and it's, we sustain, and it's not hot, but it's like at 7 o'clock in the morning, it's 89 degrees with a feel of 100. Think about that.
If we truly have an outage that is nationwide, that lasts 9 months, the EMP Commission, they found that as many as 90% of Americans would die.
90% of Americans, what's 90% of 360 million people?
Yeah, so it's like 300 million, so.
300 million people wiped off the map, just like that. And how long did you say that would take?
9 months.
9 months? And what does it look like if our power grid goes down?
So it really becomes almost zombie apocalypse. And it's horrific because we think about loosening the rule of law. And so we have George Carlin, a clip from, one of his comedy tours in a movie. And he says, you can't count on the police or the National Guard. They'll be at home protecting their own family.
There's literally nothing, which is going to nothing. There are no supply chains. There is no water. There is no food. There is no fuel. Everything that you have come to know, all the both luxuries and necessities in life, are fueled by the power grid. That's going to create chaos, because when people get hungry and they get thirsty and desperation sets in, there's no more friends, there's no more communities. People are going to do whatever they need to do to enable their families and themselves survive. It's just going to be mass chaos in the streets. There is nobody coming. How are they going to fuel helicopters to bring supplies in? They're not.
Even if you had some backup generators, and some people, some institutions like hospitals or apartments might have, but then how much diesel supply do you have? And sometimes it's 3 days, maybe it might be 30 days, but then your diesel's not going to be delivered because there's going to be chaos.
Okay, so that was that, y'all. So that was a lot of information to take in. Global warming, EMP blackouts. Like they saying that if we have a blackout within the first a global blackout within the first like 9 months, what do you say? Like 90% of the population would be gone? And I believe it because chaos, crime, all that stuff gonna go up. So with that being said, we just took in a lot of information. I know, process it, process it. Do you think it's all a conspiracy? Do you think it's one big hoax, one big joke? Or could it possibly be the truth? I'm not here to make that decision for you. With that being said, I'm Kiara Shanice. I'm going to let y'all discuss that in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next video.